Hello, this is Sunil Sunder Raj with the Ordell Sports Roundup. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with Melissa Goldstein, a senior guard on the River Dell Golden Hawks varsity basketball team. Melissa, thank you so much again for the opportunity. I said to interview. Congrats on your success there. I said on the team. These past 4 years.
Thank you.
Okay, just before we came on the air, it's been about a week since the team dinner. Able to reconnect with your teammates and with the rest of the levels of Riverdale Golden Hawks basketball with the freshmen and the JV teams. Just outstanding season, Melissa. When you look back on it, I mean, 21-4, 8-0, the Big North Patriot. Reaching said the Bergen County girls tournament semifinals. Just what do you think back now, like, just on this season, what comes to your mind, first and foremost, Melissa?
Honestly, I wasn't really surprised with all of the success we had because we pretty much had the same team coming back from last year. So I expected us to do pretty well.
I mean, the thing of it that you guys reeled off the first 15 in a row. I mean, that was just, so impressive. I mean, when you got, let's, think back, that to begin the season dealing with COVID and, said having games, canceled. Just talk about, overcoming those hurdles and, then going on that winning streak, Melissa.
Oh, yeah. Over winter break, basically all of the seniors on our team, we all got COVID. So we obviously that was we thought that was going to be a huge setback and we wouldn't be able to get back into the groove of things. But then right when we got back, we just went straight into it and we pretty much came back just as we left. So I didn't think it was that different because it was after that big outbreak, it was pretty much settled down from then.
Mm-hmm. Look, coming back from last year, right, when a shortened season, you really didn't get, there was not that, opportunity, and for those seniors last year, talk about, this group this year, what the goals heading into this season were, as a collective group, especially with that senior class. Can you talk about that, Melissa?
In the beginning of the season, we set a bunch of team goals and I don't remember exactly what they were, but I think it was to win the league outright, which we did. Mm-hmm. It was to win the Joe Poli tournament, but we didn't get to participate in that because we had COVID.
Yeah.
And I think it was just pretty much work together as a team and I don't know, accomplish as much as we could, which I think we succeeded in.
Mm-hmm. Hey, talk about just training, for and just going to this final year for you personally. Just what in your mind that what you wanted to accomplish, is setting your senior year here on the team, Melissa.
Personally, I just wanted to have fun and I didn't really care that much about obviously I wanted to win, but that wasn't my main priority. My main priority was just to have fun with the team and enjoy my last season.
I mean, it must be almost a full circle moment, here now you're the upper class. So I'm wondering, what knowledge you pass down to, these underclassmen, especially the freshmen, sophomore, juniors. I'm just wondering about that as well, Melissa.
I said for some advice, I'd just stick with it because sometimes there were some times especially end of freshman year, sophomore year, that I was gonna quit because I didn't love it as much, but I'm really glad I stuck with it because I made a lot of great memories with my team that I would really be upset if I missed out on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, as you were going, you guys are going through this winning streak, just walk me through it, as you guys were building up that confidence, week after week, game after game. Just talk about, you guys were on a roll. How good did that feel as a collective group?
It felt really good, especially going into practices after consecutive wins. It was really good because we knew that Steffner wasn't going to be harsh on us and we'd be able to have fun during practice and work hard during the games. So it wasn't constant like, because if we were losing, then during practices, like, they wouldn't be as fun, and we'd have to like focus. I mean, like, we focused the whole entire time, but like we'd have to like be working extra hard in practice. But it was like good to like have like nice, like more fun practices and breaks, and like get to like hang out with our team instead of like being pushed really hard.
I know that a lot of the girls talked about the practices. I mean, they were intense, but again, as you said, you guys enjoyed them as well. Just talk about those moments, those behind the scene moments that a lot of people, don't get to, see and experience, Melissa. But you definitely have that firsthand knowledge. But just talk about it.
Um, during practice, like we did do like a lot of like hard drills, but then sometimes she'd like reward us like by playing like shooting games, and it like got really competitive like among each other, because like we'd be split up into teams, so that was really fun. I loved like at the end of practice when we would do half court shots, and we'd all like cheer each other on to like and whoever like would make the half court shot, we'd all like jump on them and like give them high fives and stuff. That was like, I don't know, I really liked that. um I don't know, sometimes on like Saturdays we'd do like at the end of practice we'd try to like do like this thing where we all stand in a line, and we have to like shoot the ball at the same time, and like have to like make them in like in a row, and she'd like videotape them, and like we'd split up into two, and like we'd like compete with each other to see like which team could get it done first. So that was also really fun.
It's good. Okay, that week where you guys defeated Jefferson and then Westwood, not even 2 days later. But I mean, let's go to that Jefferson game. I mean, just one of the, I mean, the best games I mean, I've covered as a sports writer, but just I mean, I'm sure for you guys, just the electricity and just the adrenaline, being in that game. I mean, it said having to go to OT, extended, it said another couple of minutes, and it capped off, said by, Sarah Vanderbeck's, buzzer beater, layup. I mean, just, talk about, just being a part of that game, and just, I mean, what comes to your mind, when you look back on that win over Jefferson?
That was a really cool game because we had like a big student section, like a bunch of people from our school came, and like the whole boys team was like sitting behind us, and like I felt like the energy like in the school, like I mean in the gym at that time, it like really helped us, like helped motivate us, because we knew it was going to be like a really hard like a hard team to play. But I think like having like everyone there cheering us on like really helped us like continue like pushing. And then when Ari made that three, and everyone went crazy, like that was, I don't know, that was like kind of like the turning point like for us, and like we knew that we had to win the game. So yeah, that was cool. And then the next day in school was really cool too, because they had like Ari's three and then Sarah's buzzer beater layup like on the TV screen, like playing over and over again. So that was cool, like to walk by and like everyone would be talking about it in the hallways.
That's great. Hey, speaking of, I wanted to talk about this bench. Ari, Lizzie Fuentes, Anna Lewis, Caitlin Kreutzer, Mia Kilmurray, Gabby DeGroat, Casey Ziegler, yourself. Talk about, because the bench played, said a pivotal role in the success of the team as well this year. Just talk about that, and the fact that what for you guys, being able to observe what the starters would do, then come into the game. You guys knew your role as well, what it was on the court, but just talk about that aspect of the game as well with this bench, Melissa.
I thought it was really important, like that, like during the games, our bench like stayed like focused on the game and like continued to cheer on like the people who are in the game. Because I feel like, because like when I was in the game, I like always played much better when I heard my teammates cheering me on like from the bench, like from the sidelines. So whenever I was there, I would always like be cheering on my teammates, and like making sure that everyone else was like staying involved.
I wanted to go back to the season, again, the run in the Bergen County tournament, because said in pool play, Dumont said defeated, said you guys, first loss of the season, which was very tough. I mean, to see that winning streak go by at 15-0 at that point, but again, to come back and pick them off, in the rematch, in the tournament later on. I mean, how satisfying was that at Pascack Valley High School there, Melissa?
That was also really cool, because it was because it was like a close game the whole entire time, and then we got it at the end. So like I don't know, like after everyone was just so happy after that game, and like no one had like anything like negative to say. Like when we were like we would always like talk after the game, and everyone was just like sitting there smiling and like so excited about the win. And like Stephanie, she usually always has something to say, but she just like sat there speechless, and she was like saying how that was like one of her like proudest moments, like and like or like the one of the craziest moments she's ever had like while coaching. So that was like really cool.
You know, some of the qualities of this team this year, just the grit, the determination, the tenacity of this squad. You know, even when you guys were down, just finding a way, and a will to earn a victory. Talk about this team, the heart and soul. I mean, you had a lot of players, who were nicked up and played through injuries, but just again, the resiliency of this, of the 2021-22, River Dell Golden Hawks varsity basketball, girls basketball team. Talk about that, Melissa.
Yeah, everyone was like really determined to keep winning. Like we all wanted to achieve our goals. And we like all built on each other. I feel like if one person like was like really like into it, like that would like rub off on the rest of the team, and we'd all like get super into it. We all like played for each other because we were all like we weren't like just like teammates, like we were like super close, like we were all like best friends. So that definitely helped us like continue to like push for each other and not just for ourselves.
Okay, talk about that Bergen County, it's a tournament semifinal game against Saddle River Day at Ramapo High School. Just an unbelievable tournament, unbelievable, atmosphere, packed house. You guys went toe to toe with them. I mean, they eventually, were able to, pull away in this game. I said, but the fact that Riverdale High School, I said on that court going up against the number one team in the state, and probably one of the top 10 teams across the nation. Just talk about taking that court, and with the rest of your teammates. They said on that Sunday against Saddle River Day, Melissa.
Yeah, before that game, we were all definitely like super nervous. I remember we were watching the I think it was Ramapo IHA playing right before us, and we were all like sitting there, and like Sal River Day was like sitting right by us, and we were like we were like analyzing like the team and like talking about like how nervous we were, and we're like, oh my god, like we're in the presence of Polina Paris. Like it was like I don't know, it was like so scary. And then in the locker room, we were all like, oh, I can't wait for this to be over. Like this is gonna be so like embarrassing. Like we thought we were gonna get crushed, but then like when we started playing, like after the first half, like it was like super close, I remember, and we were all like super like surprised with like how close it was, and we were like really proud of ourselves that we even like were even in the game. So that was cool.
That's awesome. Okay, I know a very emotional night was senior night. I think it's Pascack Hills. Talk about the seniors honored, before the game, and being able to play in that game. You mentioned before, I mean, just the support, of course, student section. You have the parents, you have administration, athletics from Riverdale High School. Just talk about that night against Pascack Hills, Melissa.
That was a really special night. Like I haven't started in a game like in my whole like basketball career, so it was really cool to like get to start and like be honored like with my parents and stuff. And like we all went like early before the game and like took pictures like with our signs and stuff, and like I don't know, that was fun. And then after the game, we like I'm pretty sure after the game, like after we won that game, like it was like that we like were undefeated in the league, so we all had like confetti. So that was also really cool. Like it really made senior night special, I feel like.
That's wonderful. Hey, I don't want to forget head coach Lindsay, Steffner, assistant coaches Charlie Weinfeld, and also Emily Sullivan. Talk about Coach Weinfeld and Sullivan, just what they've meant to you, said, during these, 4 years at Riverdale High School and on the team as well.
Wait, can you repeat that? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. No, I was just saying about Coach Steffner, Coach Weinfeld, Coach Sullivan, what they've meant to you, said in terms of, just the advice they're giving you, just, all the tips here, just of playing on the court, practices? I just wanted to get your, feedback on that.
Yeah, they were definitely super supportive, like in practice and in games. Always really encouraging. Whenever we had questions, like they'd always like give us like in-depth answers and like encourage like us continuing to ask questions about like if we were confused about something, and like not to be scared to like ask them. They were definitely tough on us at times, but like overall I just think they were like super encouraging and like definitely helped us like as a team by like, because like sometimes I don't know, like them being tough sometimes like made us like more determined.
Hey, I want to ask you, putting on that that Hawks jersey, number 1 jersey, what that represented to you, personally, said these past 4 years, Melissa.
Um I don't know.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to catch you off guard. I just, I know it's got to, carry some weight. There's got to be something. It must, feel real. You just take, some pride and joy in that, in wearing that jersey, especially at home. I'm sure that's important to you, Melissa.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, putting the jersey on, like it just like it reminded me like that I was like part of a team, and that I had like a whole like group of girls, like a special group of girls like there who always had my back. So yeah.
Hey, you see the girls, freshman and JV. I'm sure you were there once before, and it was really great to see the JV team, and they were undefeated, for a long stretch here during the season. To see the amount of success with the basketball team, for all 3 levels the past, so many years. How good is that to see that, not only the present, but the future of River Dell, said Golden Hawks basketball is in good hands. How good does that feel as well, Melissa?
Yeah, it feels really good. Our program, I feel like our program like is always like pretty good, but it's really like reassuring knowing that like when we leave, it's not just gonna like go to shambles. Like we have like a good group of girls coming up like next year, so that's good.
Hey, you talked about the support from the students, and then also in the school as well. But I had to ask you about the administration, athletic department as well. Again, led by one of the best athletic directors in Bergen County and probably in New Jersey, and Dennis Nelson. Principal Brian Pepe, just talk about the support from administration, from athletics at Riverdale High School.
Yeah, they're always super supportive. They're always there like if you need to ask them something, and they're always like popping into like our practices, and they come to every game. So it's really like great to see them there and like know that like the principal and the athletic director are like interested in our games and like want to be there to like see what's going on.
That's great. I'm wondering for you, this might be a long-ended question, but what makes the game of basketball so special to play for you, Melissa? And hearing the stories at the team dinner and knowing that a lot of the girls, I'm wondering if you played with them for a long time as well. They were playing since they're pretty much kindergarten, even around that age group. Wondering just for you, what some of the intangibles about the game that for you that you've enjoyed year after year playing.
Yeah, I played basketball my whole life. I think I started in like 1st or 2nd grade.
Okay.
And something special like about basketball is that like kept me like continuing to do it and like continuing to love it is my dad's love for basketball, because he's always like been super into basketball. And I like when he first signed me up for basketball, I initially like didn't want to play. Because like I don't know, I just like didn't think I would like it. And then like he was always like super like encouraging and like really like pushed for the sport. So like I could like tell that he really loved it, so that like made me love it more. And also like I'd always like go outside and shoot with him, so it was like dad-daughter time. Yeah. I don't know. No, I always like connect basketball with my dad. I don't know.
No, that's really nice. I love to hear those stories. You talk about family, and then also what's really cool. asked a number of athletes, especially Riverdale High School athletes, two towns, it said Oradell and Riverhead. So I had to ask you which town you're from, Melissa.
I'm from River Edge.
River Edge. Okay. So talk about that component, with, kids from both towns and be able to merge that into one high school, which I think is very unique. Talk about how, just you guys have been, able to have that chemistry, that cohesiveness on a team, because it's not easy, but you guys have been able to make it work. Just talk about that.
It's actually kind of funny because I grew up playing like with all the kids from River Edge, and we'd always play against Oradell. So it's like kind of like funny how like we went from like competitors like against each other to teammates, and like those games would always be like super competitive because like that's like the one game like everyone like would be so interested in, like the Oradell River Edge like travel game. So it's just funny how we went from playing against each other to like joining together, like joining our forces together like, as one team.
Exactly. Hey, I wanted to go back to family. You talked about your dad. When you talk about your mom, if you have any siblings, and just the support, said not only through Riverdale High School and athletics as well here, Melissa.
Yeah, my parents, they come to every single game, so like I saw them at every game, so it's like definitely like really special, like to like look in the crowd and like see them there and like know that they're there to support me. And my brother, he's a sophomore in college right now.
Okay.
But like after the games, I'd always get my dad would always get texts from my brother like saying like things like about the game. So it was really nice to know that he was always there watching too, like because he would watch the live streams, and he was always like super into it too.
That's fantastic.
So yeah,
that's great. Okay, so I'm wondering, when it comes to Riverdale High School and even growing up, what sports you played, and then when you were younger, and then here at Riverdale High School as well, Melissa.
So when I was younger, I played basketball, soccer. I did volleyball for a little bit. I played softball growing up.
Okay.
I did like Regal Runners, like it's like kind of like track. And then in high school, I played soccer, basketball, and lacrosse.
Oh, very nice. Talk about playing those two other sports. How important in terms of the training, and then going you would go from the fall sport, to basketball. Talk about how some of that keeping in shape, and just in terms of helping you with the other sports, especially here with the basketball season, Melissa.
Yeah, it's I always liked playing three sports because like I always liked having something like to do after school, and like being able like I don't know, I like always having a sport because I like staying like in shape and like staying active. So it was like a much easier transition to like going into basketball season from soccer season, because soccer is definitely like a lot of running. So I felt like I was already in like really good shape, like I had like really good endurance, and that definitely helps in basketball.
It's good. Okay, committed to Cornell University, is that correct?
Yeah.
So congrats. So I mean, it must be really exciting. And just I wanted to ask you just what led the decision to attend Cornell, and of course it's not that far off now. It's another several months. Just talk about that, Melissa.
So my mom actually went to Cornell too.
Okay.
So like when I was like starting like my college applications, I was like really like at first I was like kind of like against applying to Cornell because sometimes I don't know, sometimes I just don't like doing like what my parents tell me to do, and like my mom's like really pushing Cornell. But then I went, and I like my parents like forced me to like go on a visit, and I was like in such like a bad mood, like on the car ride there. Like I brought my homework in the car, and I was just like, not talking to my parents the whole entire time. And then I got there, and I actually like we went on a tour, and I loved it so like I like wasn't expecting it, but like I loved it so much. And then after on the car ride there, I was like, all right, I was like, I guess I'll apply. I was like annoyed that like they were right, but I was like, okay, whatever, I guess I'll apply. So I applied early decision because I had legacy. So I was like, so I thought like I had like a I didn't think I had like that great of a chance of like getting in, but I thought like I definitely had like a better shot of getting in if I applied to early decision. So then I just I don't know, I just applied to early decision and then I got in.
No, that is amazing. Talk about being a student athlete. That's no walk in the park. It takes a
Yeah.
lot of commitment, a lot of dedication. You have to have that work ethic and time management. Talk about how you've been able to, balance that out these past 4 years, Melissa.
It's definitely been it's definitely been difficult. Like I remember I'd always be like super stressed out like on game days because I wouldn't like think I'd be able to like finish my homework or like
Yeah.
study for whatever test I had. So I'd always like bring my laptop with me to like the games because we'd have to like stay for JV.
Yeah.
And also like in my other sports, I'd always like be extremely stressed like whenever we had games because they'd always like take longer than practices.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like feel like I missed out on like some of like the team bonding stuff because like sometimes like people would go out like after practice like for food or something, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I would just stay home and study instead
Yeah.
because I don't know, I get really anxious about schoolwork and I need to like I'm like kind of like a perfectionist, so I need to like finish everything like on time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it needs to be perfect. I need to study for like a certain amount of time. Like I like create like a plan in my head of like what I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
like after school, like with my work and my sports, and if I don't like achieve it then I'm like disappointed in myself. And also like freshman year I'd like have to be in bed by like 10:30, so I like would never like go out after like practice or anything. I'd go straight home, do my
Mm-hmm.
homework, study, and then just go to bed. Like
Yeah.
it was I don't know, I had like no time to like do anything else. But like recently like it's like calmed down a lot because like it doesn't really matter anymore. Like I'm in college, so
Yeah.
like it's been much better this year than it has like the past 3 years, but it's definitely been hard.
Yeah. It's not easy, to, you go through the school day and then you have to like switch your mindset to, preparing for a game, said several hours later, or whatever it is, not even that 3, 4 hours later. That's not easy to do. Okay, Melissa. I'm wondering what your advice. I think you're in a great spot for younger kids and athletes, and especially I think especially to see how much um, you know girls sports, high school sports has grown in popularity here in New Jersey. What your message is, with those younger kids, and athletes, what your message would be to them, as they're trying to navigate. It's not easy these days to navigate through those waters and try to, again, move up the ladder in athletics. What your advice would be to them?
Um, like with athletics.
Well, with kids, athletics, academics, because you've been in that, for a long time now here, and I said just trying to not only in high school but also middle school as well. I'm just wondering, what would you advise them in terms of trying to like balance both out, here?
I definitely like have like a plan like for like a time like good like you definitely need like good time management skills, and you
Mm-hmm.
need to like plan out like what you're gonna do and make sure you like finish it all. But also like at the same time I wouldn't like shy away from like challenges. I would like do like the three sports like even if you don't think you'll have time for it, because you're gonna find time for it. Like you just have to like keep working hard and like not get like not get like distracted, and you
Mm-hmm.
just gotta keep like persevering. I don't know, like it worked out for me.
Yeah. No, definitely. Hey, okay. Of course, my final segment is that the athlete gets the last word. So, final message for family, friends, classmates, teammates, towns of River and River Edge, and the Riverdale High School administration athletic departments. The floor is yours, Melissa.
Oh gosh. Um. Oh God, I don't do good under pressure.
Hey, anything you have in mind, like just people you want to thank, and just I always feel like the athlete deserves this moment, because I know that especially with graduation, said not that far off, and then you're off to college. So I wanted to give you that opportunity.
um, I like to thank like definitely my family, like all the coaches, my definitely my teammates, and the athletic director, like for like continuing to like encourage and like motivate me. throughout like my athletic and academic journey. I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to do it like without everyone's support. So
Sounds good. Hey, just again, an incredible honor and privilege. I can't thank you enough, Melissa. Congratulations again on your success.
yeah.
Both academically and athletically, and especially committing to Cornell University. And wishing you all the best with graduation in June, and then of course at Cornell in the fall. And looking forward to seeing what you do at the next level.
All right. Thank you.